In a secure server room somewhere in New York, a trillion-dollar decision is about to be made. It won't be made by a seasoned trader in a suit or a team of analysts poring over spreadsheets. It will be made in the time it takes for a beam of light to travel 300 kilometers. The decision maker isn't human. It's a piece of software, a digital entity that has just perceived a subtle anomaly in global trade data, cross-referenced it with a sudden shift in currency futures, and calculated a 97.3% probability of a market-wide downturn in the next 3 milliseconds. It acts, executing a complex series of trades to insulate its portfolio before the first human analyst has even noticed their screen flash red. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, every single day. This digital ghost in the machine is called an autonomous agent. But what exactly is it? It's not just a simple program following orders. It's something fundamentally new. A digital employee capable of making its own choices. And to understand how it works is to understand the next revolution in technology. So let's break this down. When you hear AI, you might think of a chatbot or a simple script that automates a boring task. But an autonomous agent is a different species entirely. Think of it less like a tool and more like a highly specialized employee you've hired to do a job. Like any good employee, it has 4 key traits. First, it's autonomous. You don't need to stand over its shoulder telling it what to do every second. You give it a goal, say, keep our factory's inventory perfectly stocked, and it figures out how to achieve it on its own. It has control over its own actions. Second, it's reactive. It's not blind. It constantly perceives its environment. For our inventory agent, the environment is the factory floor, supplier databases, and even shipping weather forecasts. If a shipment is suddenly delayed, the agent sees this change and reacts instantly, perhaps by finding an alternative supplier to prevent a shutdown. Third, it's proactive. This is crucial. It doesn't just sit around waiting for a problem to happen. A proactive agent is always looking for ways to improve. Our inventory agent might notice that a certain part is consistently running low on Tuesdays and will preemptively adjust its ordering schedule to get ahead of the problem. It takes initiative. And finally, it has social ability. No, it's not making small talk by the water cooler. It can communicate and collaborate with other agents. An inventory agent might talk to a sales agent to learn about an upcoming promotion, and then coordinate with a logistics agent to make sure enough trucks are available. They work together as a team. So we have these digital employees ready to work 24/7, never getting tired, and processing information at the speed of light. But a diligent employee with no brain is just a mindless robot. To make them truly intelligent, to allow them to make smart, effective decisions, they need a revolutionary way of thinking. For decades, businesses have used something called business intelligence. It's a fancy term for dashboards and reports that tell you what happened. Your sales went up 10% last quarter. Great. Customer engagement on your latest ad was low. Okay. It's like driving a car by only looking in the rearview mirror. It tells you where you've been, but not where you should go. This is where decision intelligence comes in. It's not just about looking at the past. It's a complete framework for making better choices about the future. Think of it as the agent's scientific method for decision making, and it has 3 layers. The foundation is what we already know, descriptive analytics. This is the what happened layer. It's the raw data, the historical facts. The next layer is predictive analytics. This is the what might happen layer. Using machine learning, the agent can look at past data to forecast the future. For example, based on current trends, we will likely run out of product X in 3 weeks. This is better. We're now looking ahead. But the real game changer is the top layer, prescriptive analytics. This is the core of decision intelligence. It doesn't just predict a problem. It tells you exactly what to do about it and why. It answers the question, what should we do? So instead of just warning about a stockout, a DI-powered system would say, to avoid the stockout and maximize profit, automatically order 500 units from supplier A, reroute 50 units from the Western warehouse, and simultaneously launch a 5% discount on the alternative product, B. This course of action has a 95% success probability and a projected ROI of 18%. It simulates multiple futures and recommends the best one. So we have the autonomous actor, the digital employee, ready to do the work. And we have the intelligent brain, the decision intelligence framework, capable of choosing the best action. But the real magic, the true revolution, happens when you fuse them together into a single, self-improving loop.
When an autonomous agent is powered by decision intelligence, it creates a virtuous, non-stop cycle, a closed loop of constant improvement that operates at machine speed. It all starts with sensing. The agent is a voracious data gatherer. It's constantly absorbing information from its environment, far more than any human could track. It's watching everything all the time. Next, it thinks. This is the decision intelligence core kicking in. It takes that torrent of data and processes it. It diagnoses the current situation, predicts future outcomes of various actions, and uses its prescriptive models to decide on the single best move to achieve its goal. It simulates the future to choose its path. Then, it acts. Armed with its decision, the agent executes the task in the real or digital world. It doesn't need to ask for permission. It adjusts the price, reroutes the power, or sends the personalized offer. The decision is instantly translated into action. But here's the most powerful part. It learns. The agent observes the outcome of its action. Did that price change increase profit like it predicted? Did that server reallocation prevent a crash? This feedback is fed directly back into its decision models. This is a technique called reinforcement learning, where the agent literally gets better at its job with every single action it takes. It learns from its successes and its failures, constantly refining its understanding of the world. This sense, think, act, learn cycle sounds incredible in theory, but where is this digital nervous system actually changing our world? The answer is pretty much everywhere you're not looking.
In global supply chains, you no longer have people manually tracking inventory, you have autonomous agents managing entire networks. An agent for a retail giant can monitor real-time sales data, shipping lane congestion in the South China Sea, and even social media trends. It can predict a sudden spike in demand for a product and automatically order more from the most efficient factory, arranging the shipping and logistics before a human manager even knows what's happening. In finance, the world of high-frequency trading is dominated by these agents. They operate on timescales humans can't even perceive, executing millions of orders a second to capitalize on tiny price differences. But they also act as our guardians. When you swipe your credit card, an autonomous fraud detection agent analyzes the transaction in milliseconds, comparing it to your history and thousands of other data points. If it detects a threat, it can block the transaction and freeze your card before the criminal has even left the store. Every time you visit a major online store, you are interacting with these agents. A dynamic pricing agent is adjusting the cost of that flight or that gadget based on demand, competitor prices, and even the time of day. A personalization agent is watching your every click, deciding in an instant which product to show you next to maximize the chance you'll buy it. It's creating a unique one-to-one store experience just for you. These systems seem almost unstoppable, optimizing our world behind the scenes with terrifying efficiency. But with this incredible power comes a set of profound and frankly unsettling challenges that we're only just beginning to grapple with. One of the biggest problems is the, quote, black box issue. Some of the most advanced AI models are so complex that even their creators don't fully understand why they make the decisions they do. The agent might be consistently making profitable trades, but no one can explain its reasoning. This is a massive problem in fields like medicine or law, where you need to be able to justify a decision. Imagine a medical agent recommends a risky surgery, but can't explain its logic. Would you trust it? This leads to an even bigger question: accountability. If an autonomous agent managing a city's power grid makes a mistake and causes a blackout, who is to blame? Is it the company that owns the agent? The programmers who wrote the code? The provider of the data it trained on? Our legal and ethical frameworks were built for a world of human actors, and they are struggling to keep up with machines that make their own choices. And finally, there's the data itself. These agents are only as good as the information they learn from. If the historical data used to train a hiring agent is biased against a certain group of people, the agent won't just replicate that bias. It will amplify it, embedding it in a system that appears objective and fair on the surface. It will become a machine for automating discrimination, and we might not even realize it's happening. Navigating these challenges, transparency, accountability, and bias, is the great task of our time as we hand over more and more of our world to these digital minds. So, what does it all mean for our future? Where is this all heading? The partnership between autonomous agents and decision intelligence marks a fundamental turning point. We are moving from an age of passive data analysis to an era of automated intelligent action. The true power of data was never just about creating dashboards for humans to look at. It was about fueling intelligent systems that can perceive, decide, and act on their own.
These systems are becoming the invisible nervous system of our global economy, optimizing everything from the flow of goods to the flow of information. The human role isn't disappearing, but it's changing. We're becoming the architects and supervisors of these digital workforces, setting their goals and their ethical boundaries. We are transitioning from being players on the field to being the coaches who design the plays. This isn't just another tech trend. It's a new paradigm for how things get done, and it's already here.
If you enjoyed this exploration into the future of AI, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the technology shaping our world.